The smartest theft in history. $109 million in just 27 seconds. Let's see how smart this theft is. I feel like I could do a better job. I feel like I would really be the best thief of all time. I think, like that last video we watched where that guy stole $17 million and got caught, just made it seem so easy, bro. Just made it seem so easy. Just made it seem way too easy, bro. And I'm like, I could have done that, gotten away with it, never gotten caught. Clear as day. Ducky, have you watched the Man in the Suit new vid? I have not. I've talked to unknowingly though, and I'm actually gonna rewatch the whole off topic. I'm gonna rewatch the whole Man in the Suit series again. I'm gonna rewatch the whole Man in the Suit series again because I do not remember what it's about at all. So I'm gonna rewatch it plus the new one, and then at the end, I'm gonna try to explain it to unknowingly in less than 10 minutes. See if I understood the lore, and that's the plan. We get caught yelling like a wolf, and it wouldn't catch. Wouldn't catch us. You know when you'll do it? No, I'm still trying to find out the time that he. Right? No, I don't want to give you back. I don't even know what that is, bro. Pathyam, you're always coming in sending some Indian stuff, bro. Like, bro, I'm not really that like intrigued because I don't know what it is. I'm not gonna watch the movie, you know, and it's not fair for me because it looks so cool, but I'm not gonna watch it. And the last time I watched it, I got striked. So no, I'm not. If you would like to recommend a video though, by all means join the Discord, discord.gg/Duckworth, where I get a lot of my recommendations from. That is where people send memes in from. That is where everything goes through. Game recommendations, all from the server. You guys realize it or not, I just go down to the bottom, see what people are asking for, and so yeah. Let's hop in, bro. Let's hop in. Lock in. Once in the chat, we locking in, boy. Smartest theft in history.
When committing a robbery, every split second counts. Thieves can be incredibly sophisticated and sometimes pull off million-dollar robberies within the blink of an eye. Taking a whistle-stop tour of famous heists around the globe, here are some of the fastest thefts in history. Dubai. Our first stop is in Dubai, in a brazen heist that took them only 170 seconds. What you'll find with most robberies on the list is that the fastest high-profile thefts involve jewelry. To rob a bank, there are various barriers and security measures put in place to stop someone from accessing their cash. With jewelry stores, you simply need to go into the store, smash the glass, take the expensive jewels inside, and run for the hills. In 2007, shoppers at Wafi Mall in Dubai witnessed something from a Hollywood movie, and the chain of events could only be fully understood when looking back on the CCTV cameras. One car drives through the glass windows of the mall while another vehicle follows. The cars move inside this mall towards a jewelry store. One car stops and a man with a gun comes out and checks the surroundings. The other car then barges into the door of a Graf jewelry store. Carrying a gun and a hammer, the man smashes all of the glass casings and helps himself to some highly expensive jewelry. He takes $3.4 million worth of jewels and then speeds off. The gang had come and gone within the space of 170 seconds. It was revealed later that the cars they used was stolen too. The gun he was carrying turned out to be fake and was used as a way to scare people off and make sure nobody tried to make themselves a hero. The thieves drove down Za'abil Road where they burned down the two brand new Audi cars they had just stolen in order to destroy any evidence. This heist, along with others on this list, is believed to be perpetrated by a gang of jewelry thieves known as the Pink Panthers, named after the Pink Panther comedy and crime movie series. While they are incredibly effective jewelry thieves, they are much more bloody and ruthless than those portrayed in the movies. Let's just say there's nothing to be laughed at when these guys are at work. When they orchestrated their heist in Dubai, the thieves tried to flee the country. Luckily, Dubai police captured 2 suspects before they could make their way across the border, as well as the 2 stolen Audis. The group
Did they get the jewels though?
Nissan Sunny for their getaway, and the Emirati police found the jewelry in this car. It was until 2014 that a 3rd suspect was found. He was arrested by the Spanish authorities and then handed over to the UAE in 2015. And to rub further salt in their wounds, their heist car is now on display at the Dubai Police Museum to reflect the police's ingenious work in cracking the case. But despite the speedy cars, raids, and getaways, this is the slowest theft on our list. Here's where things get a bit faster. London.
They would have never caught me. They would never caught me. Let me hear you out. I would have taken a boat out the country. Flight? You think I'm going to take a flight out the country where I just stole $3.4 million worth of jewels? You were up burning out the car. That was smart. But I would have taken a boat. What? I'm taking a cruise out the country, bro. I'm making sure that my jewelry theft aligns with the time a cruise is there. You got, like, there's no way you can fly in and think of, like, I don't think anyone's expecting you on a boat, bro. I don't think anyone's expecting you on a boat. I just don't think they are, bro. I don't think they are. And of course, you wear some disguises, have your fake IDs ready. Like, you're straight. Niggas not catching me. He like, I'm out of here, bro. I'm out of here, bro.
Next heist takes us to merry theft on our list. Here's where things get a bit faster. London. Our next heist takes us to merry old England and, funnily enough, to another Graf Diamond store on New Bond Street. At 4:40 p.m., 2 men dressed in suits walked in, posing as customers. While they did not wear any masks, this is not actually what they look like. Before the robbery, they told makeup artists that they were making a music video and needed their appearance completely altered. The makeup artists recalled that one told the other, "My own mother wouldn't recognize me now," to which the other replied, "That's got to be a good thing, hasn't it?" Once inside, they pulled out handguns and ordered the staff to get down on the floor. Then they forced the shop assistant, Petra Enar, to open the display cabinets. It took them 2 minutes to collect $65 million worth of jewelry.
These are some of the 43 jewels taken. The haul included diamond earrings, necklaces and rings with a total value of around £40 million.
However, the thieves cannot simply sell these pieces as they are.
Experts think they're so recognizable that they would have to be broken up, which would dramatically reduce their value.
The gunmen were well aware that police could be waiting for them even at this early stage, so they brought out Petra Erna as a hostage while they waited for their getaway driver to arrive. Interestingly, they also fired a gunshot to clear the street. In Britain, police do not all carry guns, and only a particular section of them are allowed to use firearms. If an ordinary police officer was walking around, they would simply not be allowed to respond, and instead, he or she would have to wait for the specialist gun force to arrive. This sequence of events points towards an incredibly capable set of criminals. However, their methods of transport getting to and from the scene of the crime suggests otherwise. According to Good Morning America, the heist was so brazen, police say the men arrived at the store in a London taxi and made an incredible getaway, changing cars 3 times over a distance measuring less than half a mile. They crashed once, handed a bag of jewels to an accomplice on a motorcycle, and gave police the slip. Despite being right in the center of London, they traveled from getaway car to getaway car, and this helped keep the police off their scent. However, the fact that they were constantly moving from one vehicle to the other led to one of them losing their phone in one of the cars. This was a crucial mistake and led to them being caught by the old.
That's what I'm like. Come, like, it's the little things you gotta be ready for. How you lose your phone, nigga? What are you even taking your phone in there for, bro? You shouldn't have you gotta have a burner on you, bro. You're about to rob a jewelry store and you're taking a smartphone in there, nigga. You need a track phone, a burner, walkie-talkie. That's what I like. That's like, come, how you fuck that up? How you fuck that up? Man, I'm telling you, bro. Let me hit let me hit a lick, and I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Not getting caught. Not getting found, bro. Not getting found.
Losing their phone in one of the cars. This was a crucial mistake and led to them being caught by the old bill. 2
men appeared in court today charged with carrying out Britain's biggest ever jewellery robbery. They're accused of conspiring to rob Graf Jewellers on New Bond Street. A 3rd man has been charged in connection with the incident.
However, none of the jewellery has been recovered from this heist, and it's unlikely that the criminals will ever divulge this information. Tacoma. Our next heist takes us to Tacoma,
weren't
Washington.
charged?
In
Wait,
what was
what? They
once
weren't
some of the
charged?
jewelry has been recovered from this heist, and it's unlikely that the criminals will ever divulge this information.
Street. A third man has been charged in connection with the incident.
However, none of the jewelry has been recovered from this
Oh,
heist, and it's
shit.
unlikely that the criminals will ever
They got
divulge
away.
this information.
They got away, baby.
Our next heist takes us to Tacoma, Washington, in what was one of the fastest bank robberies of all time. At one point, the criminal I'm about to discuss was an American hero. Luke Elliott Summer served time in the US Army, but in a strange twist of fate, he ended up using his military training to hold up a bank. Summer grew up in British Columbia, Canada, but holds dual citizenship with Canada and the US. He joined the US Army when he was just 17 in 2003, the very year that America led its invasion of Iraq. A year later, Summer spent time in Baghdad, and in 2005, he spent time in Afghanistan. When returning to America, he
had
recruited people to join his
infiltrating.
training
He had
camp. On August
infiltration
7th,
training.
2006, 4 men charged into a Tacoma branch of Bank of America carrying weapons. It was organized to every last detail. 2 of the men were holding handguns and were responsible for getting hold of the money. The other 2 carried AK-47s and were guarding the bank from outside. They all wore body armor too and carried plenty of ammunition with them. Summer was one of the men with a handgun leading the charge. A prosecutor of the case said if the police arrived, Luke Summer planned to go to war. The robbers were armed for combat. Summer continued shouting orders at the tellers to hand over the money, while one of the men guarding the entrance shouted out how much time had elapsed. Summer reordered the tellers to give them $20, $50, and $100 bills, and told them not to give any money with serial numbers or die packs that would be traceable. His assistant collected the money, and when it hit the 2-minute mark, the team's
How will he know if they're being honest or not? Right? Is it easy to see if they're traceable? I guess that's my question. Is it easy to see if they're traceable? Like, how would he know if they're not just gonna sneak one in there?
Die packs that would be traceable. His assistant collected the money, and when it hit the 2-minute mark, the team's timekeeper shouted, "Let's go," and they fled the scene. They exited the bank with $54,011, taking them 2 minutes and 21 seconds. The gang used military precision in this robbery, but it was one fatal flaw that led them to being caught in 3 days' time. When they took off in their getaway vehicle, a bystander took down their license plate number and handed it over to the police. The bandits forgot to get rid of this license plate.
License plate number? License plate number, nigga? Really, bro? Out of all the things that you were prepared for? Out of all the things you were prepared for, you didn't think about the license plate, bro? What the fuck? How you gonna pull up to a place to rob somewhere with the fucking license plate? That's gotta be the craziest shit. That's like the first thing any half criminal knows. Niggas be even trying to make it vengeance to switch out their license plate like Batman. It's like, bro, they're in such a rush they don't think. Dog, don't even pull up with the license plate. Don't even pull up with the plate. They're like, don't even pull up with the license plate. Like, have none on the car in the first place.
And this was traced back to the handed it over to the police. The bandits forgot.
And it's like you're planning this days in advance, weeks in advance, probably. So you gotta think that stuff through, bro.
To get rid of the bystander took down their license plate number and handed it over to the police. The bandits forgot to get rid of this license plate, and this was traced back to the car of one of the gunmen. While the thieves I've spoken about earlier remained extremely tight-lipped when caught by the police, this guy was a lot more cooperative. He spilled the beans on everything that happened, leaving Summer and the rest of the team in hot water too. The bystander who foiled this plan may have prevented more than just one robbery. According to CTV News, Summer, then 20 years old, planned to use the proceeds of the robbery to start a criminal gang in BC that would rival the Hells Angels. Summer was sentenced to prison, but it is still not the end of this story. In 2008, he tried to hire a hitman to kill the attorney who got him convicted, and specifically requested to make it look like murder, not an accident. Thankfully, the hitman he hired was an FBI informant, which slapped another 20 years onto his sentence for good measure. Hong Kong. Our next robbery takes us across to the Far East in Hong Kong, where $3 million worth of jewelry was taken in 90 seconds. In the popular Tsim Sha Tsui shopping district, a high-end store named VIP Watch and Jewelry was the unfortunate target of ruthless.
I just want to say clearly, the best places to pull this type of heist on are jewelry stores. Okay, so I want to take back my old statement. If you're gonna be a robber, maybe the bank isn't it. It's clearly jewelry stores, bro. They seem to be easiest. All you need is a fucking hammer to break that shit. and you're going in, bro. Like if you're crazy enough to try some shit like that, hey man, don't go for the banks. The jewelry stores are where it's at, bro. That's what they're saying. That's the trend. That's the trend. All right? They're saying that. They're saying that's the trend. That's the trend. That's the trend. Trend. Trend.
Thieves. A store named VIP Watch and Jewelry was the unfortunate target of ruthless thieves. In July 2018, 3 masked men confidently charged inside at 10:45 a.m. The glass was smashed and many luxury watches were taken and placed into a bag. They took 34 Swiss-made luxury watches and 39 American-made bracelets, with a total estimated value of 23.5 million Hong Kong dollars, which is equivalent to $3 million US.
Oh, yeah.
No guns were seen
That's
at
a
the
good
scene of the
little
crime.
heist.
The culprits were simply armed with a knife and a retractable baton. Sadly,
Wow.
a male employee was injured badly by the baton and had to be taken to hospital after the robbery. He was speaking on his mobile phone when the robbers came in and may have said something to alert the other person on the phone that he was in danger. A source told the South China Morning Post it appeared the employee was beaten because the gang thought he tried to make a phone call. Customers and other staff were threatened with a knife, but whether the police were tipped off or not, this might not have made much of a difference.
I guess you don't really care that much that a place is getting robbed, but I'm just gonna say, you're letting a nigga with a knife overpower you. With a knife, like that many people overpower that many people in there. But I guess you're kind of just sitting there like, I'm not about to get in the way of this robbery. Like I'm about to. Fuck it. Yeah. All right.
Staff were threatened with a knife, but whether the police were tipped off or not, this might not have made much of a difference. The thieves came and went in the space of 90 seconds. As quick as a flash, the robbers fled the scene onto the nearby Lock Road, where their getaway vehicle awaited. Superintendent Wong Chi said, "From our preliminary investigations, this getaway car is believed to have been stolen in Yuen Long District in March. The fact that this car was stolen months before the heist tells you just how much planning and preparation went into this 1.5-minute job." Another vehicle was also found on fire and is believed to be linked to the case. The police believe that the bandits handed over the jewelry to someone else while switching getaway cars, and afterward they made their way into mainland China. 2 of the men are believed to be Chinese and could speak fluent Cantonese. The other robber was of South Asian descent. Arrests were made weeks after the heist. All 3 men were believed to be caught by police, and a girlfriend of one of the men also turned herself in for her involvement too. However, the stolen goods have not been recovered. Paris.
Wow.
Our next robbery happened in Paris, the city of love. The Pink Panthers are very active in this city, and some even allege that they were involved in the high-profile robbery of Kim Kardashian. Instead of robbing a jewelry store, sometimes it is easier to simply mug an individual carrying expensive belongings. In 2014, thieves decided to put this to the test and rob a Saudi prince. On a quiet Sunday evening at around 5 p.m., Prince Abdul Aziz bin Fahd left the Four Seasons George V, one of the most expensive hotels in all of Paris. A premier room at this place will cost you nearly $2,200 a night. Having checked out, the Saudi prince was on his way to take his private plane at Le Bourget Airport, but would be interrupted along the way. As a royal family member, he did not travel alone and traveled in a convoy alongside security guards and aides. The lead car was a Mercedes van, which had some of his aides inside. However, this level of security did not seem to be enough. 8 masked gunmen driving BMWs swooped in and hijacked the Mercedes van. Without firing any shots, they made off with a briefcase. This Saudi prince had a briefcase stuffed with 250,000 euros in cash, which is about $335,000. As well as cash, they also took luxury watches and secret documents. Denis Foriat, a spokesman for the prosecutor's office in Paris, told news outlets the assailants blocked the car with 2 vehicles and asked the occupiers to get out of the car. Then they took the car and drove away. It took them a few dozen.
I'm guessing inside job. It's got to be an inside job on this one. How do they know? How do they know my guy is holding 250,000 euros on him? How do they know? How do they know he's holding all that stuff on him, bro? How do they know it's in his car? I don't believe that someone didn't tip him off. I don't believe they weren't tipped off, bro. There's no way you just like, yeah, all his stuff is in that first car, bro. Like all those cars on the road, he's the only. No. Unless he's just that foolish, and they like to keep all this stuff in that car, and they just hit a lick. They just hit a lucky lick. They just happened to check that car, and he happened to have all the shit in that car. I don't believe it did.
Dozen seconds to do that. So although they get out of the car, then they took the car and drove away. It took them a few dozen seconds to do that. So although there is no exact timestamp on this heist, the thieves did manage to snatch over $300K in the space of seconds. There are many suspicious aspects of this crime. Firstly, how did they know that the Saudi prince was carrying a suitcase full of cash?
Exactly, bruh.
How did they manage to know the exact route that he would be taking?
Exactly, bruh.
Foriat said it was led by criminals who seemed to know that there was money to steal and eventually knew in which car they would find it. When we hear that somebody has been robbed of their possession, our first instinct is to feel sympathetic toward them. However, the French public were not exactly shedding tears for this Saudi prince who found himself short of $250,000. The prince had just finished a 2-month vacation in Paris and was known for leading a lush and lavish lifestyle. An article in Le Monde contained comments such as, "The prince lost his day's pocket change," and another person wrote, "3 little minutes of production from their oil wells, tax included." Nonetheless, the French authorities took this incredibly seriously, and a year later, 9 men were arrested in connection with the heist. The convicts may have been linked with the Pink Panthers, and the fact that the theft was done so quickly and professionally
How
certainly
big are
points
the
to
Pink
this.
Panthers?
New Jersey. In New Jersey, we have not only one of the fastest robberies ever committed, but one of the biggest teams involved too. Virani Jewelers, a jewelry store in New Jersey, found itself suddenly swarmed by a total of 8 gunmen. One of the thieves appears to point a gun at a man near the entrance, while another took out a hammer and starts smashing the glass. The robbery happened at 7:45 p.m., which was minutes before the store was about to close. The thinking behind this may have been that there would be very few customers in the store at this point, and the workers may have also been caught off guard, having spent the whole day at work. However, this happened in June 2022, so it was still broad daylight at that hour. In just 1 minute, 8 of the thieves run in, smash the glass, and stash jewelry in their bags. It's clear that these people knew what they were doing and did not hang around for long. They took what's believed to be $1 million worth of jewelry.
This is Little India. It is known as a major jewelry market. People come here from well beyond New Jersey, but tonight, many in this neighborhood are shaken as police hunt.
And another rule, chat. Another rule. If you're gonna rob somewhere, bruh, you can't be living close to there, bro. I feel like that's another thing, that you can't be even like 600 miles from the place, bro. Oh, if you're gonna rob New Jersey, you better live in Ohio. You better live in Ohio, my nigga. You better live in fucking Wisconsin. You better live in Florida. You too close. You too close, bro. You too close. You're just way too close to be thinking, yeah, I'm going to rob this store and live in the same fucking town. Like, this is crazy. Why do you know this? These are just my expert thoughts from watching all these heists, you know? I love a good heist movie. Man. I forgot that one movie where there's like this expert bank breaker. I don't remember the name. But it's like this expert bank breaker, and he gets hired by this team, and they're all a bunch of misfits. But then in the end, just to get the money, they all pretty much end up killing each other. It was a crazy one. It was a fucking crazy one.
That group tonight, many in this neighborhood are shaken as police hunt that group of suspects.
Little India specializes in Indian jewelry and is a popular shopping district for the South Asian community in not just New Jersey, but most of the East Coast. According to Fox News, the region attracts South Asian customers from Maine to Maryland. There are at least 10 to 15 other jewelry stores in the area, so it's a mystery why they chose this store and not the others. Local woman Misbah Chaudhry witnessed the crime and said how comfortable and confident they were. They came in like they owned the store. They're like, all right, everybody down, breaking stuff, filling up their bags, walking away like they had no worries in the world. Thankfully, the only damage caused was to the property at the store.
No serious injuries reported. Brittany, some of those business owners tell me tonight they plan to get together and meet with the mayor come Thursday, Brittany, to talk about safety.
This robbery happened over a year ago, and there have been no further updates on who the culprits are and
still
where the
ain't been
$1
caught.
million of jewelry has gone to. It is not understood which gang or operation they were involved with, but this seemed like a very professional job. Tokyo. The next robbery occurred in the city of Tokyo, a place which was at one stage home to the Comtesse de Vendôme, which is one of the most expensive necklaces in the world. The jewelry piece is composed of 116 diamonds, including a centerpiece, 125-carat diamond, and is believed to be worth $31 million. But since 2004, nobody knows where this thing is. On March 5th, 2004, the Tokyo jewelry boutique, Le Super Diamant Couture de Maki, had some unexpected visitors. According to police reports, the robbery involved 2 men and 2 women. The men were expected to carry out the heist, while the women were on the lookout. Dorda Rasevich visited the boutique many times and posed as an eager customer. He was even shown the Comtesse de Vendôme by one of the staff, who believed that they could have their biggest ever sale coming soon at the store. Rasevich returned another day at 11:46 a.m., except this time he was accompanied by his friend, Alexander Radulovich. Radulovich had a pen and paper and looked to be writing something down, but he suddenly immobilized the clerk with pepper spray. Meanwhile, Rasevich broke the glass containing the Comtesse de Vendôme and snatched it for himself. Then both men ran out of the store and fled on motorcycles. The whole thing lasted less than 40 seconds. All 4 of them stayed at a hotel in Tokyo for a night before fleeing the country under fake Croatian and Czech passports. The next day, they boarded a plane for Paris and were thousands of miles away from the scene of the crime. The Japanese put all of their resources into finding the culprits, to the extent that they had 100 investigators working on it. 2 years later, 2 Serbian men were jailed in connection with the robbery. However, they refused to let the police know where the necklace is hidden or who they were working for. Rasevich even testified that it was an inside job and it was used to collect $100,000 worth of insurance money, something the authorities have refused to believe. One of the most surprising aspects of the crime is one of the women involved. Since the heist, Dorothy Fasola has been living in Scotland and working as a fish trader. In Aberdeen, she was known as a Fiat-driving seafood exporter who drove a hard bargain. On the other side of the world, she is believed to be the mastermind of one of the greatest robberies to ever take place in Japan. She was seen looking through jewelry shops in Tokyo days before the heist, and a Serbian prosecutor said, Serbian members of the gang were in charge of the dirty jobs, but the real person behind the whole operation was Fasola. She was very good at covering her tracks. It was only thanks to security cameras that Japanese police have been able to trace her and to figure out the identity of the mysterious lady. Fasola was extradited to Italy for a different robbery, but released in 2011. Ultimately, the necklace has never been seen since, and it's unlikely that it is still out there. While these thieves were in Tokyo, they used
we need a movie on her. We need a movie on Fasola, because she's a fucking mastermind, bro. A fucking mastermind.
Hotel phone to make calls to Sri Lanka, and people suspected that the necklace was sold through the black market. By now, it's more than likely that the precious diamonds on this necklace.
Calling a woman a mastermind, says Simp. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Were recut and resold. Brooklyn. At a high-end jewelry store in Brooklyn, $2 million worth of jewelry was taken in 38 seconds. At 5 p.m., 3 masked gunmen raided Facet's Jewelry in Park Slope, Brooklyn. They threatened to shoot a worker while smashing the cases and looting the place of its expensive jewelry. According to the store owner, Irina Sule, the guy reaches into his pocket and pulls out a hammer. I didn't even understand how a hammer could fit in there. And he says, and this is how you use a hammer. He smashed 3 of our main displays. Each of the 3 men had their own specific job. One man worked with the hammer, while another had a bag filled with jewelry. The third person, meanwhile, operated as a lookout. Sule says the whole thing lasted 38 seconds. They took 2.5 full cases of diamond engagement rings, newer pieces we've designed in-house, and pieces we've collected, Art Deco and Edwardian rings. But obviously, it was less about the jewels they were taking and more about the danger she and her staff found themselves in. Honestly, it's very scary. I couldn't even talk yesterday. I was hyperventilating, crying, sobbing, and shaking. Of course, they had put plenty of preparation into the heist. They knew exactly what cases to take from. They only took the big-ticket items.
The guy holding the door yelled, "What the f are you doing? Don't
it's like Sniper
move,
Wolf.
I'm going to shoot." And that's when I was like, okay, you know, we're not moving, we're not doing anything, we're just quiet. None of us said a word.
The situation touches upon something high-end jewelers face on almost a daily basis. For a lot of these stores, you cannot simply walk in and be buzzed in by the staff. One of the men was buzzed in while the other hid behind. She did not want to deny him access to the store and let him straight in. A lot of jewelers will have to literally judge someone by their appearance and decide to not let them into their store. Sule said, "I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. It's difficult. You try not to racially profile anyone and not be judgmental or discriminatory. Since then, Sule has been nervous about opening the door up for anybody. I'm so frightened. I'm not even opening the door to my loyal clients," Sule said. "I even recognize who they are, and I won't let them in." The store said that they will be hiring a security guard and increasing its security measures as a result of this robbery. This happened in January 2023, and nobody has been charged yet, so presumably police are still actively looking for the culprits. Cannes in the south of France is world-renowned for its annual film festival, and in 2013, the Carlton Hotel experienced something straight out of a Hollywood film script. As this news report explains, it was a case of life imitating art.
And how about this? A brazen daylight, multi-million-dollar jewel theft in the very...
I mean, she ain't letting Ducky in. Do I look like a thug? Do I give off like a thug? Like, is that what I give off? Like, if I step into a room, you're gonna be like, that nigga's a thug? Yes? Really? Like, dead ass question. Like, yeah, like, thug? How? How? I have 0 tattoos. I have no earrings. I have none of that shit. Like, how does that give off thug, bro? 0 thug vibes, bro. She's letting me in. I'm black. That's all you got? I'm black. Really? That was it? That was it? That's just racism. That's just, but all right. All right, fair point. Fair point. A beard makes you look like a thug? That's the craziest shit I ever heard. That's the craziest shit. All right, look. How about now? No hat. No hat. How about now? Thuggerness gotta be gone. Thuggerness gotta be gone. Gotta be gone. Farther from it. Look. Hi, my name is Devontae. I came to the jewelry store today to check out your new pieces. Would you like to show me around? Of course. I'll wait by the door whenever you're ready. Oh, I love this new necklace you have. I love it. Yes? Huh? Your store? Beautiful. I wanted to check out that watch too. No, I'm not a thug. I really have the money to buy it. How about that? Solid? No thug movement right there, bro. No thug movement. You feel me?
Hotels, a brazen daylight multi-million-dollar jewel theft in the very hotel on the French Riviera that was the setting for a movie about a brazen jewel thief played by Cary Grant. It was all too real this time.
It was a special evening for the hotel.
The glamorous Carlton Hotel on the French Riviera is a favorite haunt of the rich and fabulously famous, which makes it a good place to exhibit diamonds. And turns out not a bad place to steal them either.
The exhibition was organized by the Leviev Diamond House, owned by Israeli billionaire Lev Leviev. And while the staff were loading the necklaces, the thief pulled off a speedy snatch and grab. He walked in with a gun and a scarf covering his face, and the staff simply had no other option but to hand it over. He did this all in the space of 27 seconds. The Carlton Hotel is located across a beautiful and busy seafront promenade. All the thief had to do then was simply blend in with the massive crowd outside. John O'Connor, a former head of the British police force, was almost full of praise about the criminal when speaking to CBS.
That's a classic way of getting away with it. Blend into the crowd. It's a brilliant piece of utterly simplistic, easy robbery.
Initially, the Carlton thought that the thief took €40 million worth of jewels, which is equivalent to about $43 million. However, they realized later on that it was €100 million worth of jewels that they had taken, or $109 million. One French police officer told The Guardian, "Thieves see Cannes as rich pickings. A full and urgent operation is underway to catch the culprit and recover these jewels." Another police officer told the Nice Matin newspaper, "The raid took place in broad daylight at a time when hundreds of tourists were enjoying the sunshine. It could not have been more daring. The thief took advantage of the crowds and the fact it was Sunday and the atmosphere was relaxed. As you can imagine, the thief is suspected to be a member of the Pink Panthers, and the heist has all the characteristics of their trademark snatch and grab robberies. Some even believe that it could be connected to thieves from the gang who escaped a Swiss jail that Thursday. On July 25th, Milan Poperick was freed after fellow gang members rammed a gate and overcame security with AK-47s. Poperick is the third Pink Panther to break out of a Swiss jail in 2013. 10 days after the robbery, loss adjusters offered $1.3 million for information leading to the recovery of the stolen items and sent out released images of some of the stolen jewelry, but they have not heard a dicky bird since. Hong Kong, Part 2. Our final robbery takes us back to the beautiful city of Hong Kong. It was possibly the fastest amount of money a thief could possibly make, where they accumulated $3 million in just 10 seconds. In 2017, thieves targeted Chow Sang Sang Jewelry, which is also situated in the Tsim Sha Tsui district, except this time round, they did not even have to step foot inside the store to make the robbery. Expensive jewelry was on display by the window, and two thieves decided to take sledgehammers.
That's crazy. Just bang that shit from outside. Like, I don't even have to step inside this bitch, nigga. You got some of your best shit at the window. You got some of your best shit at the window. This is an easy go. This is an easy fucking go.
Smash the windows and take all of the items in a bag. A third person was working with them and allowed them to flee on a motorbike. A police spokesperson said the stolen property includes a diamond necklace, jade earrings, a diamond bracelet, and diamond rings. They were both wearing face masks and hats, but the police concluded that they were not ethnically Chinese. Ultimately, they were done and dusted in the space of 10 seconds. So even if the clerk called the police may not have even picked up the phone by the time they were still there. 9 pieces of jewelry were snatched in total. Apparently, they left an empty suitcase and a paper bag at the scene, which could prove useful for fingerprints. In September of that year, a woman was walking through Kowloon Park and noticed something sparkling in the ground. It was a diamond ring. She assumed it was fake and picked it up. However, when she got back to work, she realized that this diamond was found only 150 meters away from a jewelry store that was recently robbed. She thought it was a normal reaction to report it to the police and said her find was nothing worth reporting. She worked as a cleaner, so this piece of jewelry could have been life-changing for her. And thankfully, the jewelry store did send her some gifts as a way of saying thank you. So with all of the clever and cunning thieves I've discussed in this video, it's good to know that there are still some honest and pure souls among us. I don't know how many of us would do the same. Thank you so much for watching. Please click on...
I ain't gonna lie, if I found a fucking ring worth how much? 50, 60, 100K, 300K on the floor. Am I returning that? 1088, what's good?